What's going on, you guys? Welcome on back to the channel. Now, as you know, we have a new chapter of Two Blue Vortex coming up in just a couple of weeks. But what is more important about this upcoming chapter is that it marks 1 full year of Two Blue Vortex in serialization. Now, that's huge because Boruto 2 Blue Vortex is so special for me because it's the series that inspired me to even start talking about manga and anime on my YouTube page. Like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with this channel for so long, but I thought I could add to the conversation with Boruto and especially to Blue Vortex. And I thought this would be a great way to go back and talk about the series as a whole and everything that and a lot of the stuff that's happened up until now. I'm not going to talk about every little thing because this video would become way too long, but I want to talk about the big things that happened in Two Blue Vortex and how it's affected me. So, first things first, chapter 1. Chapter 1 is an interesting case because while I loved the chapter, I did think it was a little slow at first. But once you get to the ending of that chapter and you see Boruto just land on code, bro, that shit was fire. That might be one of my favorite entrances in manga. I loved it that much. I thought that was so cool. And then immediately after that, we got the Uzuhiko, a brand new variation of the Rasengan that uses the planetary spin for chakra. That shit was so fucking gas, dog. I remember when that dropped and the community losing its mind because nobody thought that was possible. But the fact that we were seeing Boruto do that was just insane. Now, after we beat Code and all that, we then followed Code into the other dimension, and we were introduced now to the big threat, the manifestations of the Ten Tails. So this is where we first see Jura, we first see Hidari, we first see the Moegi one, we first see all of them. And what I liked about this is that it created a bigger threat, right? We all thought it was going to be Kawaki, but they pivoted real quick and were like, no, here's a completely separate entity that Boruto's going to have to take out first before we even get to the Kawaki stuff that we saw in the flash forward. So we get to see them. We get to see, because what was great about it too is that Boruto has always been a step ahead. He's always for these first couple of chapters, let's face it, Boruto was the strongest person in the verse. And now with the manifestations of the Ten Tails, we were seeing Boruto get worked a little bit, and he had to escape. I thought that was really cool because it showed that Boruto isn't necessarily invincible in a way. He still has weaknesses. He still can be driven by emotion. When he saw Hidari, it made him think of Sasuke because, as we now know, Sasuke is in the tree. So Boruto is a character that while he might have seemed emotionless at first, there are glimpses of the old Boruto that creep out. When he saw Himawari, when she pulled up, and now when he sees Hidari, he just is enraged because that they took Sasuke away from him. So that was really cool. But what I also really liked too is that when Boruto escapes, we get to see Kashin Koji pull up. Kashin Koji has always been one of my favorite characters in Boruto. So, and when he was gone for so long. I think bro was gone for almost 2 years in the story. So when he finally showed up again, I was shocked because I had lost hope that Kashin Koji was gonna be in the story anymore. But then you see him, and you see that he's been a mentor to Boruto. I thought that shit was fire. I thought that was so cool because now he's got his own little Jiraiya dynamic that Naruto had. It's just fire. And what else did I like? I did like too, also, when we finally get the Boruto and Mitsuki stuff. Because for those who don't know, the Boruto versus Mitsuki dynamic was one of the last big theories that I was talking about before my channel was getting like striked left and right by Shueisha, and like a lot of my old videos got taken down. So this whole confrontation was really big for me because it was the first time where one of my theories was proven right. That Boruto, as we all know, is the son, and Mitsuki has been conflicted because since Mitsuki was also affected by omnipotence, he sees Kawaki as his son, but Kawaki's not giving him anything. Like he just feels dimmed, if anything. But then he sees Boruto again, and Boruto's telling him he's his son, and everything's starting to click in his head again. Everything's starting to make sense. And then, like, when you have his little talk with Ada that he has, and, like, a lot of people thought that interaction was kind of weird, but I thought it was perfect because it showed that Mitsuki can feel that type of emotion. Like, he was able to realize that that's not completely gone for him, or he actually has that type of emotion. Because for all his life, he thought he would never be able to experience love. And I thought that was really nice. And also, like, bro, the fight between Boruto and Mitsuki is just fire. Like, I think we can all agree on that. Like, but that fight is also interesting, too, because there are so many instances where Boruto could use Shadow Clone Jutsu, but he never does. And that leads into what another one of my big theories was that Boruto is afraid to use his Shadow Clone Jutsu because it could lead to Momoshiki manifesting and his karma reacting. And a few chapters after I made that video, that kind of is getting confirmed because, like, Kawaki, like, was making the karmas resonate, and Boruto had to dip out because his karma was spreading. So, like, it shows that Boruto does have an innate fear of his karma now, because I think now if Momoshiki takes over, that's it. If Momoshiki takes over, he's destroying everything. I don't think I think we're at the point now where if Momoshiki ever takes over again, like, he's not going to give up control. He's going to continue to be in control of Boruto for, like, as long as he can until he's killed, and he's just going to do everything he wants. So I think that's the big reason why Boruto is scared of his karma now, is that he sees it as a gateway to Momoshiki taking over, right? Like that is, like, the main crux of his fear, is Momoshiki taking over and destroying everything he loves before he's really able to reclaim his life again. And, of course, we can't really end this video without talking about Himawari. When I saw that Himawari had Kurama inside her, and then it was confirmed that it is Kurama, bro, like, that shit was so fire. And then, like, to see that she was able to fight, like, pretty, like, well against Jura for the most part. Like, she's able to control, like, the Nine Tails power very well. Like, I wasn't expecting that at all from the narrative. Like, I thought they were going to make it where, like, she was going to have to struggle, but then you find out that she has more of an innate talent, or a more innate connection to the Nine Tails than even Naruto had. So I thought that was really cool. And then, what else? We did that. We talked about a lot of things. Oh yeah. Another theory that I could talk about, and kind of another way to recap some things that I used to talk about on here before my channel got strikes, is my Shikamaru theory. Shikamaru is dying, bro. Shikamaru is going to die. Like, I just did a reread of Two Blue Vortex, and there are so many signs that Shikamaru is going to get, like, killed for being a double agent, right? Like, you have the stuff, like, with the elders. You have especially everything with Kawaki. Like, now that Shikamaru has to, like, play both sides in order to, like, protect the village, but also, like, keep himself safe from Kawaki. But I think Kawaki's on to him. And I think when all this stuff is done, when this arc wraps up, I think you're going to see Kawaki confront Shikamaru, and Kawaki just might end up killing him because I think he's going to see Shikamaru as a threat to omnipotence, as a threat to revealing it to the whole village, and then his whole facade is over. So I definitely can see him killing Shikamaru and blaming it on Boruto before or like after this whole arc is wrapped up and we move into the next arc. I can see that being a big cliffhanger. But after that, like, we had that huge fight. We just had that recent fight with Boruto, Hidari, Sarada, like that whole thing. Like, that fight was crazy. And the fact that Hidari is essentially wiped out, he's dead. I did not expect Hidari to get killed this quick. I thought Hidari was going to last for pretty much the whole series because I thought he was going to be an overarching antagonist for Sarada, right? And now that he's gone, it kind of takes that away. So Sarada doesn't really have that anymore. So I wonder what Sarada's role in the story is going to be now that she doesn't really have an overarching antagonist. I guess it's going to have something to do with Ada, but I don't really know now. But I think that's going to do it for now, I think. Like, I just wanted to talk about Boruto and my experiences with Two Blue Vortex 1 year later before the next chapter drops. But let me know what you guys think. What did you guys love during this whole year of Two Blue Vortex? What was your favorite thing? Like, did you like the Uzuhiko? Did you like the stuff going on with Boruto and Mitsuki? Or did you like all the fights that we got that I didn't even cover? Let me know down in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, I'm going to talk to you guys next time. Bye.